thought I was going crazy. No one believed me when I said something was wrong. And then I was rushed into surgery. It all started like any other day. I was 14 years old, feeling what I thought was just a little stomachache. It wasn't anything unusual. My friends would sometimes complain about similar things. I thought it'd pass, but it didn't. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. The pain started small, a dull ache right below my rib cage. At first, it wasn't bad enough to stop me from doing anything, but it definitely made me feel uneasy. I went to school, went to practice, and tried to act normal. But every day, the ache turned into something worse. I felt nauseous all the time. Every time I ate, it felt like my stomach was being twisted in knots. I tried telling my mom, "Mom, I don't feel good. My stomach hurts a lot." Her response? "It's just stress, honey. You're probably tired from school. Go lie down." I didn't think it was just stress, but what could I say? She had so many things on her plate: work, taking care of my younger brother, and dealing with our busy family schedule. I didn't want to be a burden. But the pain didn't stop. It grew worse. I started feeling dizzy, fainting at school, and even having trouble breathing sometimes. I thought something was seriously wrong. I kept telling my mom, but every time she just brushed it off. Even my doctor didn't take me seriously. After a brief checkup, he gave me the same answer. "It's probably nothing serious. You're just dealing with a mild bug or stomach virus." No tests, no follow-up, nothing. "You're just looking for attention," my sister Sophia said one day. I wanted to scream. It wasn't attention I wanted. I just wanted to feel okay again. And that's when I hit my breaking point. One night, the pain was so unbearable, I couldn't even get out of bed. I could barely breathe. Something wasn't right. I needed someone to listen, but no one did. That night, my mom was getting ready for bed when I could barely hold on any longer. "Mom, please," I begged. "Something's wrong, and I'm scared." And that's when the call came. The moment that changed everything. What happened next? Why didn't anyone believe me? Why didn't anyone believe me? Was it my fault for not pushing harder? And why was I still feeling like I was on the edge of death? The next morning was a blur. The pain in my stomach had reached a point where I could barely sit up. I couldn't concentrate at school, couldn't focus on anything. Every breath hurt. But still, I kept going. I didn't want to be the drama queen, the one who exaggerated her issues. But then, something happened that I couldn't ignore. In the middle of class, I collapsed. My vision went black. My body gave out. One of the teachers called my mom. I was barely awake when she arrived at the school, looking more worried than I'd ever seen her. I could see her guilt in her eyes, the realization that something was really wrong. We went to the hospital, where I lay on the bed, pale and shaking. She seemed concerned at first, but when the doctor said they weren't sure what was wrong, I saw her frustration. Maybe she's just making a bigger deal out of this than it is, she murmured under her breath. I couldn't believe it. Even now, after everything, she wasn't sure. After all this time, she still thought I was exaggerating. And then, the doctor came in. "It's probably just a stomach virus, nothing too concerning," he said. I wanted to scream. "It's not a virus. It's not stress. Why won't you listen?" But all I could do was lie there, too weak to fight back. As I lay there, I began to notice more things. My stomach was swelling. my skin turning a sickly yellowish tint. My mom noticed it too. She looked at me with panic in her eyes, but still couldn't bring herself to fully believe me. "Maybe we should just go home and rest. It'll pass," she said. But as we were about to leave, I collapsed again. This time, it was different. The pain was excruciating, and I could feel the coldness spreading through my limbs. It was like my body was shutting down. That was the moment everything changed. The doctors moved quickly, speaking in low voices. "She's in critical condition," one of them said. My mom's face went pale. "Wait, what? What's happening? What's wrong with her?" In that moment, the doctors realized what was happening. My appendix had ruptured, and the infection was spreading throughout my body. And still, no one had believed me. How could this be happening? How was it possible that no one noticed? And why did it feel like the world was suddenly closing in on me? My body was already in critical condition. The pain was unbearable, and I felt like I was drifting in and out of consciousness. The hospital room was spinning, and my mind raced in panic. My mom was by my side, but her expression was one of sheer terror. I could see the guilt in her eyes as she held my hand. I wanted to say something, but I could barely speak. The doctor's voice broke through the haze. "We need to operate immediately. It's the only way to stop the infection from spreading any further." My heart dropped. Surgery? It sounded so serious. I'd heard of people going into surgery and not coming back. Was this it for me? Was I going to die on an operating table because no one believed me? I wanted to scream, to tell everyone how much pain I was in, but the words wouldn't come. The reality of what was happening hit me all at once. The doctors were rushing around, preparing for surgery. My mom was talking to the doctor in urgent whispers, her face pale as a ghost. "How could this have gone so far?" she murmured, as if talking to herself. "I should have listened. I should have trusted her." The guilt was overwhelming. For the first time, I saw my mom fully realize the depth of my pain. She'd brushed me off for weeks, told me I was overreacting or that it was just stress. And now, here we were, in a hospital room, fighting for my life. It was too late to turn back. "We need to prep her for surgery. There's no time to waste." I was wheeled into the operating room, and my mom was left standing there, her face etched with regret. I could barely stay awake as they put the anesthesia mask over my face. My last thought, before drifting into unconsciousness, was, why didn't they believe me sooner? And then, everything went black. I woke up in a haze. I was alive, but everything had changed. When I finally opened my eyes, everything felt different. The bright lights above me blurred into hazy shapes, and I could hear the distant sounds of beeping machines. It took a few moments before I realized where I was, my hospital room. But something was missing. My mom's hand was not holding mine, and the room felt eerily quiet. As my vision cleared, I saw her standing in the corner of the room, her face a mix of relief and guilt. She didn't look like the same mom who had dismissed me all those days. She was different now, and so was I. The doctor came in soon after, explaining that the surgery had been successful. My appendix had ruptured, and the infection had spread dangerously close to my organs. If I hadn't been brought in when I was, the doctor said, I might not have made it through the night. "We got to her just in time," the doctor said. But I didn't feel lucky. I felt betrayed, angry, and sad. I had begged for help. I had pleaded with my parents, But it wasn't until I was nearly on death's door that they finally realized the truth. My mom walked over to my bedside, tears welling up in her eyes. "I'm so sorry, Ava," she whispered. "I should have listened to you. I should have believed you from the start." It was the first time I'd ever heard those words from her. I could see the pain in her eyes, and the regret was obvious. I didn't know how to respond. I wanted to forgive her, but it wasn't that simple. "I don't know why you didn't believe me. I was trying to tell you the whole time." There was a long silence. My mom slowly nodded. "I failed you. I should have been there for you when you needed me most." But the real emotional release came when I finally spoke again. "I just wanted someone to listen." The weight lifted off my chest as I said those words out loud. In the days that followed, things changed. My parents were more present, more aware of my needs. They went from apologizing to showing me every bit of love and care they had been withholding. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. But the hardest part wasn't just the surgery or the recovery. It was rebuilding that trust. It would take time, and that was okay. I was alive, and I had learned something important. I needed to stand up for myself and make sure my voice was heard, no matter who was listening.